right, last question of the day. Ignacio and Oliver are trying to decide if there are other ways to change expressions on the expression comparison mat without affecting which side is greater. They have invented some new strategies and described them below. So your task for each of the moves below, build these on our mats. So we're just going to look at them on these mats. Hopefully that's okay with you. Follow each set of directions for the mat shown in each strategy below. Determine if the move in the strategy is valid for maintaining the relationship. So instead of saying valid, what I want to know is it a legal move? Is it legal to do what they want to do? So in strategy A, they said, if you have a mat like the one shown below, and you can add the same number of tiles to both sides, in this case, I added 3 negative tiles to both sides. So here's the original mat, and they want to add 3 negatives to this side and 3 negatives to that side. Is that legal? I'm going to say yes, it is, because as long as I'm doing the same thing to both sides, then we don't change the value of them. All right, remember, something we can always do is take the same thing off of both sides. I can also add the same thing to both sides. So yes, this is a legal move, strategy 1. Strategy 2, on a mat like the one below, I added positive 3 to this side and added negative 3 to this side. So they want to add 3 positives here and 3 negatives here. Is that a legal move? Well, remember what we've always said since we started this unit. If I'm going to take things off of both sides, they got to be the same thing I'm taking off of both sides. So they want to, and over here, remember we added the same thing to both sides, and that was legal. Here, they're adding 2 different things. So positive 3 to mat A and negative 3 to mat B. So I'm going to say that that is not legal. You cannot do this because we have to do the same to both sides. If not, then we've thrown the values off. So this, not legal because we're not putting the same thing on both sides. All right, here, to simplify, I remove a positive X from one side and a negative X from the other side. Is that legal? So they're going to take a negative X from here and a positive X from here. Is that legal? And I got to say, no, it's not. Because if we're taking things off of both sides, they got to be the exact same thing. So once again, this, not a legal move because we're not taking the same thing off of both sides. Yes, they're both X's, but this side, they're taking off a negative X, and this side, they're taking off a positive X. So that is not legal. They got to be the exact same thing on both sides. All right, strategy 4. On a mat like the one below, I would like to add 3 0 pairs to mat B. So they're going to put 3 positives on this side and 3 negatives on the same side. Is that legal? Well, I guess my thought is this. If I'm putting these on the mat, that equals 0. So if I add 0 to something, that never changes the value of it. So I would have to say that that's probably legal. I mean, if this was 2, let's say this was worth 2, I just made it up, this is 2, and I add 0 to it, it's still worth 2. So since these are 0 pairs, they're going to cancel each other out completely. I could put them on the mat, and it's not going to change the value of it because all of this stuff is just 0. So it doesn't really affect what's going on here. So yes, I could add this to it because it's just 0. So hopefully that makes sense on some more ideas of what legal moves are and what legal moves are not. So just to recap, once again, I know I've said a lot, but this is crucial for what we're doing. If I'm going to take things off of both sides or add things to both sides, they have to be the exact same thing. Or we could do 0 pairs, which I take off 0 pairs. But in this question, I can also put on 0 pairs. And it doesn't change the value because that's worth 0. And when I add 0 to something, it doesn't change the value. That's like if I had, let's just say I had $20. All right. And then somebody gave me $3. And then I gave somebody else $3. Well, I'm exactly right where I started. And so I haven't changed my value. And that's what's going on here, is we don't change the value because this is just worth 0.